the old main gate. And on the other side of that, where the wall used to run right down to the end and join it farther down. This wall here is a new wall built, well, about 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
The main gate there, that used to have on the top of the buildings where the see the windows at the top, that used to be controlled. The CID used to be up in those sections, and the main officers in charge of the MLD used to be there. As you come down, that's the gate itself. As you come further round to the right, as we're coming around now, the wall was extended right the way through there to the back, round behind this part of the building. There's a wall that went right the way round here. This is the rest of the main gate, panning down out to the right. As you come round where the wall used to be, going round to here, it finished off onto coming round behind the old, what you know now is the old gatehouse. We're coming through to what was the old gatehouse. This is where the wall pans round to the main gate. All that area there on the side, there used to be a police mess. There used to be quarters above that, where some of the unmarried policemen used to stay, or people coming down on courses used to stay. Following that round, as we come round the back, there was the fire station. They used to have to figure that used to be part of the area just in front, where the large tower, the training tower, but also all the hose pipes were all laid out. The area around about here was approximately where the fire station was. It's very hard when you're trying to visualise now with the difference, the movement of the buildings, what's gone through. We probably might be able to pick it up on the map later on to that part. It's an old statue that was on there, but a lot of people never know really where this came from and think about this. Number of plinths round about the plate, round on the Dial Square itself. That was where old trophy guns were there, old cannons and everything.
In this area here during the war, there was a clocking off station. And on a Saturday morning, when they used to leave about 12 o'clock, they was queuing up to go for their lunch, and a bomb come down and killed about 10 people, just here.
This is the rear of the brass boundary. That's the old Arsenal wall, and at the back. On the side there, there's all these were the old air raid shelters that used to be along the back of the buildings here. Through from the wall from the brass foundry, where it went through, this was the back of the part of the old A areas. This actual fact, and if you go further where the power station area is now, that was the first area that was taken over by was given away by the Arsenal. Went to the power station for their coal yard. Now this is roughly the main line, cover the road where the road was. We used to go straight through to we can see the main gate in the distance. This is the view coming from the gate going down to the riverfront. There used to be railway lines just on the left hand side here, the trucks and everything went through. The area above we're looking at now between the Warren Gate coming through to the officers' mess, all that area behind there, that was Arsenal. That was what the ground the power station took. One view of the new part of the Arsenal, with this that used to be extended back where they're going up towards the power station. Up there, there's the coaling wharf where the power station coal wharf. That's where they took just the ground. Just in front of that was what the old Arsenal ground. All this area along here, part of the waterfront area. There's all railway lines along there leading down to the T Pier and Iron Pier. There used to be a CIA, this is the site just in front of the police mess, what you know as the police mess now, everybody knowing that now. That area there used to be a big building there, which was a CIA building. Followed at the back there was where the Flagstaff Canteen. The Flagstaff Canteen was just on this area here.
These buildings here on the front here were the shipping sheds, where all the stuff used to come in from the gun barrels, and that used to come back in the Arsenal. And they used to use this riverfront right along the side here, and these were the shipping sheds where all the stuff was stored.
There you go.
This used to be the old point changeover for the old railway, when the railway lines used to run right through here from the riverfront, the warehouses on the riverfront. It's been there a few years. These doors here were where they used to have a hydraulic crane on the outside, and they used to swing the stuff to cargo into the top storage area. Each one along and they used to be cargo.
There's the old water tower right there, and I can't quite remember what it was. I remember going in this one, there was big hydraulic lifts and everything else in this place. That was the water tower. We reckon that on top of the Shooter's Hill there used to be a big reservoir there. We reckon that was the reservoir, the pipe used to run right the way down from there, down to a manhole just outside building 19, and for feeding for the head of water for these for these hydraulics in there.
Of the
Hang on.
shipping sheds. Chap used to operate from bring the cargo out and load it into lorries or railway trucks. The railway truck used to run along here to load it into railway trucks up this side.
This building you're looking at now at the end of the shipping sheds, and see, this was taken over by the navigation firm. They used to have a boat called the John Cass, and they used to do this to train them in Decca and Marconi navigation with using the radar system. The mast going up there with the odds, because they used to have their signals coming from there that they used to pick up, and the whole of the rooms used to be blacked out, and they could work out navigation working out with some of the shipping that was being used on the river, just to practice and to get the training from them. They used to have a boat as well that used to be put on where the T-pier used to be somewhere around about here, which has been taken down now.
This area here where this boat is, and quite a lot of barges used to come in on there and bring all kinds of things in, shells and things. On this one here was the iron pier, which had a 200-tonne cantilever crane on it. It was taken down after the war.
There's a Dutch firm come and took that down and erected another crane over the top to took that. But the only similar crane to it was taken abroad is at Portsmouth. Can't quite see in the distance, that's where the coal pier is. And right in the distance there should be some pylons. We can't make them out by the fog today, but the pylon on this side was actually in the Arsenal ground. All this area in the front here was there's still shipping sheds all the way along there, the same as what just seen. To the right now, where is the power station, where the DFE built a power station, that was the original site of the B26 electrical section. Rather a large shop, but done everything in there, armature winding, motor test. All this area here was all listed buildings. This is the old buildings that were taken over afterwards, and they've been used just at the closure for British Museum, storing all their books. But they haven't been able to wait for this new building to be finished in London. Go on, Stan.
This pump here used to bring in the water from the river into the power station across the road here, and that used to bring the water in. That went down about 30 feet. It's come round across the road and into the power station.
Off you go.
In here, this is the pump that used to pump the water into the power station. The power station would be where this building is here now. Which was this now.
Hang on, there you go. Power station was straight in front onto the power station and the boiler house. Just here, where this is leading between the old buildings, listed buildings, there used to be a coal hopper just here, what used to go through, and the trains and lorries used to drop the coal into a grid, and they used to be lifted up on a hoist that went through straight into the power station to feed the main hoppers in the power station. All that pipe work has been put since the new boiler house was built by the DFE. All this area in front, which is now that people know as the SSU crowd, where they was on, and leading over to the central office, that was the old shell foundry. It was all in that area. Coming up the road here, just up there, and there was the roundhouse, which used to be just on the left hand side. Another view of the old listed buildings. These buildings on here, they used to be used, B26 used to use these to store motors in, old motors that for spares. That was the only time I ever saw them ever used. And then the building in the far one, the top floor where they used to use some of that, our old heavy gang used to use that as their hangout and some of their equipment. Building here, this used to be a gas cleansing station. It was one of the things, one of many that was on the site during the war. That was just in case there was a gas attack. You could go in there with showers and surgical equipment in there for medical attention. Just in front, just there, that was where our old chain testing section was, where they used to test all the ropes and chains, and they used to put them onto practically a destructive type of test, pulling there to the maximum of loading on there. We've got some photographs of some of the equipment that used to be in there.
This area here, up to the end of the war, there was a hydraulic 80-ton hydraulic crane, and in the winter time, because it was hydraulic, they had to put like little fires underneath to stop the pipes freezing up in this area here. It was taken down after the war.
Marlborough Avenue there. That area there, this was all part of the light gun complex. It's part of the gun shops, used to be through here. And as we go through to there, in the front there, that used to be an a naval part of the building, which looked machine shop. And next to that used to be what's known as the piggery. It was a mess. That was where they could get alcohol. It was one of the only very few places on the site where alcohol was sold, and that was from members of the light gun. The light gun complex then used to stretch further over here. We're looking in the distance now. There you go.
This was the South Mill area, and in here they had about 6 bays, and each bay they had 130-ton cranes that used to lift the 14-inch guns, and the last one to be made in here was 1942 of the 14-inch, and I loaded that gun up, which weighed, without the breech, it weighed 97 ton. That was across the road over there, where we had a crane, and it was a 200-ton crane.
There's the gantries. There's one of the gantries still there. That the gantry, first of all.
This gantry you're filming now is a gantry that used to carry the 130-ton cranes over the top, and used to have the gun barrels underneath on the machines. And you see a join up there, over there. That's where, during the war, that area up to the end was bombed and was replaced after the war. That area along there. Yeah.
It's the building known as 25. That was the original site of the old roundhouse. We've got some photographs of that with a lot of the equipment in that we'll probably be able to put together later. This was a part of the room that was the building 9 reprographic moved into. A lot of the machines, that was the last job I was involved with when I came away after I retired. Nice picture. What Tractor's doing there, and they're working on this part of the area, what was in mine, and the way they used to walk through there, looking for a bit like the scenes for the old build. What's about taking the gates down?
These gates were the original gates that was on this foundry. 1856. These gates were loaded by me after the war. They went away to Patricroft, Royal Factory of Patricroft. And then they reclaimed them back about 15 years ago. They said they put them back in the arsenal, we're going to put them back where they was. And that's what they've done. They put them back on the original gates of the shell foundry. This Wellington statue was originally standing down the road, down there where the arches are, until about 15-20 years ago, and they brought it up here and put it in this area here. That's a radiation plate.
This is the rear of Building 8, which was the X-ray lab, where they used to do a lot of the non-destructive tests on the castings and things like that. In the background there you can see the corner of the central office. This was abused, this was after the war, this was built, didn't win the closure when in the second part of the closure effort that was. This building 9, one entrance to building 9, that was a reprographic and photography area. There's a side entrance onto it. At the far end here, just before where the door is on the left hand side, was the side entrance to our electrical shop from Raymond and the main entrance to the office. And there's a no entry sign on this way. Of course, mostly rollicking because I went up there 2 or 3 times. Looking at it there, that was the front part where the garage, where we used to be, well, it was turned into the garage later after the closure. And used to use the transport section, used to use the electrical section, used to be at the back. This is a view from the window of what was in the front half of the building. Here was where the transport was. In the rear where those big doors were in the distance, that was where we used to have our electrical section, where we moved just at the start of the site management when we had to move out from D1 down on the waterfront. The original Arsenal wall is just there in the background, behind. That stretch from there, going through, going right up.
This building here at the back, these high buildings here, were originally small buildings, but in 1940 they put an extension on it and put it up about 30 foot higher, made the building much higher so it could get bigger cranes in. In the country it was.
It's the back of C2. Once again, that's the extension on the top of the building. It's a very big machine shop this was. I remember going in the building. They had a great big trophy cabinet there with a load of cups and everything there for swimming, table tennis and God knows what they used to compete for in there. Very competitive sports crowd worked in there. As you come around from building what was 19 in there, there's a manhole cover, water main cover down there. Well, Ken Young, who was the old site security officer, was looking for permanent water supplies to the building just in case of fire, in case of damage, and we pulled this manhole up and we actually pumped in there and underneath there, found water there. We actually pumped that for 2 hours with a fire brigade pump, and we couldn't even lower any of the water in there. It didn't drop at all, and we reckon that was a feed that came from the top of the up there by Shooters Hill Police Station. There was an EWS tank on the right hand, used to be a big tank there. Made an EWS tank, was a reservoir. We reckon that was there's a run comes down from there that actually feeds the accumulators to the tall water tower, which was down by what you known as the DFE offices now. We're inside C2 now. Most of those girders were all bricked in. They were never like this. They were just iron girders on the bottom. This was absolutely full of machines and lathes, milling machines, planers. They've done a film in here, actually, one of the first films. That was Operation Crossbow was done in here.
In the middle here there was a planing machine. This was one of the biggest machine shops in the country. And we used to do work for the Metropolitan Vickers. And there was a planer machine, and the table on the machine weighs 40 tonne, and it was a fast machine.
The original stained glass stuff has all been removed from the top, and I think it's been taken away for safekeeping. It's at the top of the main doors in the CO. It's one of the side entrances of the central office. There's a ramp that was installed later on, just before the closure, all for one woman who was a disabled woman, that they was adamant that they were going to give her a job and move her up to the first floor. Coming round further, there's another one of the side entrances. This is the only entrances you were allowed, under the ROF you was ever allowed in. You could, no way could you ever walk through that front entrance. We're only in the courtyard of building 22. It was originally, it was only they put an extension on the DLE, and they were told at the time the top's extension. When you look down the walls on there was some cracks right way down. They've been bodged up, I think, but there was a couple of cracks right along there. How on the earth they ever agreed to put another top on, God only knows. The original building was there on the top there, which was the telephone exchange when you went round from that corner. And as you went round to the other side, that part over there was an officer's mess, a superintendent's mess. That was the only section that was on the very top floor. This is the rear of building 22. There's the top section. That's the very top section. What was originally the officer's mess, and coming through. And you've got the telephone section in that corner, in this right hand corner here. This was the original part of the building on there. Just round the side there was where the entrance was. That was with the staircase where you could climb for the 22. Originally there was only one lift in building 22. That was in the rear part of the building. There was never any lift down there by the main entrance. This is the cupboard that's put over the old fireplace. We've got some photographs of the front of it, but all I can do is show you the rear.
See that, can I? I bet for my time. We used to have trouble with them blooming lights up there, and then fluorescents up there, and that wall. Which the walls go wrong, ain't it? Green things. I mean, they're donkey's years now. Turn that tack up, or tack going backwards.
top half of this building, recently just after, or just before the close of the rock, that used to be the RF rifle range. Very competitive crowd on there, they put shit in there. This is building 43, we put that 41A now, this one. Commentary then. It's the Weybridge, building 33, where the old petrol station was. I think it will take through the glass though. an old dumb waiter that's there in the corner.
Well, the tree you're filming, so I've been told.
I suppose there's my caster.
Who's that light on, mate, George?
Hey?
That's it, George, that's it. George is winding the third one now.
Hey?
We're winding the third one now. The middle one is the hour hand. The second one is the main chime. And the other one is the quarters. It's a fair old depth down now. All the weights are nearly fully up now. It's not what you can say easy. It's a good job we've got that reduction gear to lift them with. It's how deep do you reckon that is, George, down there?
How deep?
Yeah, lift the weights up.
The weight?
How far they go down?
Good Lord. 50 feet? 60?
It's got to be a fair height, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, when you think about those weights go right to the ground. When you think about where the clock is just below the clock, they're going to the ground.
Well, I think, I mean, you've got...
Go on.
London, 1806. John Thwaites, Clerkenwell. London.
Yeah, the clock in 1806. The only other one near this is the one that's at the Royal Military Place down at where they drop when the horse goes up the steps. God, I never the officers. I never can think of the name of the place.
Right, that one.
That's the pendulum. That's all that suspends from. When you think it's on a little piece of block up there, very very small. What takes the weight of that? All the way down. It's a fair.
The clock was installed in 1806. It was made in Clerkenwell, London, by a firm called Thwaites, which later became Thwaites and Reed, a famous firm which still exists, has connections with the great clock at Westminster on the Houses of Parliament. There it goes. That's big brother. That needs oil.
Talking all about the clock, yeah?
Well, the accuracy of timekeeping of the clock is solely dependent on the length of the pendulum. In this case, down it is approximately 10-11 feet. But arrangements are made at the top for the length to be adjustable. Weight of the pendulum, which is considerable, is taken only by a thin sheet of spring steel known as the suspension spring, which is right at the top of the pendulum and rests in a little crutch attached to the ironwork of the frame. A simple arrangement, but effective, and going back hundreds of years. And attached to the pendulum, deep in the entrails of the clock, is an anchor-shaped piece of high-grade steel which allows the tooth escapement wheel to move forward one tooth at a time. And it is that which produces the familiar tick, tock, tick, and so on and so on. One tooth at a time. Unless it was regulated in that way, of course, these huge weights would just whistle down and turn the train round at high speed. That is the basis, or the fundamental of the clock. That type of escapement anchor is known as a recoil escapement. Okay. The anchor that was referred to is driven by the pendulum via this steel member, which is called the crutch, and the engagement is by these two adjustable screws that I'm holding now. That enables the anchor to be shifted in relation to the pendulum, and it is that arrangement which enables the evenness of the pendulum, the beat as it is called professionally, to be adjusted to be equal both sides. That's your most accurate way of finding whether things are level or vertical. Well, you do that when you hang wallpaper, don't you? With a plumb line.
Blind, that's right, yeah.
Doing some checks on the clock. This is the one in the office, what was the officer's mess. Round the outside, when you reg it out, there's gas pipes. There's a complete gas piping goes round here, and it seemed as though there's 6 of those points around the clock, and it seemed as though that this was definitely a gas light of some description, went through the So the gas lights went through the back right turn the clock there, and there's the pipes. Whether there was some method of illuminating the front of the clock, we don't know. It's a bit of a mystery, but
Don't do any good.
do you want that, what's name sign there?
is the fact that the lower sump directly underneath the weights is under approximately 3 feet of water, and we think that the original going weight is in fact in the water and has been replaced by a set of weights which is not original. We are hopeful that the pit can be cleared out of water and probably reveal the missing weight, which we would then recover and put in its proper space.
10 days. 10 days, yeah.
10 days?
The winding, it goes 10 days.
The winding frequency is approximately every 9-10 days, and
them on the gate I'm going to make. capable of getting these things up.